Electronics and Communication Engineering, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. I would like to give a lecture about the unit number 2. This is the RLRC RLC circuits, which is basically what are the points as per the syllabus of JNTUH for the second year first semester network analysis and transmission line subject. So in this, the unit number 2 we have a different topics we need to cover in unit number 2. So that is, the first one is the steady state and the transient analysis of RLRC and RLC circuits, which is the sinusoidal response, step response and square response is there. And we'll coming to that, the second point is the RC circuit as a act as an integrator and a differentiators. And second order what we call series and parallel RLC circuits, which will be conditions under 3. One is the overdamped, second one is underdamped, and the third one is critically damped conditions. And the root locus and the resonance, the series for the quality factor and the bandwidth, and the parallel resonant circuits, which is also for the quality factor and the bandwidth. We need to discuss. This is the very important parameters and what are the applications of the series and parallel resonant circuits. Generally used to take for the filter circuits like BSF and the BPF, that means the band stop filter and band pass filter. So like that, and the resonant curves also. That is the impedance and what we call the frequency versus quality factor, and you say that the bandwidth versus quality factor, like the curves also we need to discuss impedance and admittance also. So now this is the basically used to know that you need the basic things for solving the problems in network theory. So now the linear differential equation, that is derived from the circuit, and will have two components of its solution. That is, it consists of the two functions, like you say that the complementary function, which corresponds to the transient response, and you say that the particle integration, which corresponds to the steady state analysis. So therefore the combination of these two is the required total current or voltage signals is in the given circuit. So basically the classical methods is a mathematical approach to solve the circuit. So we need to take in generally how the parameters are link up with the V and I, that means the voltage and current relationship. So if we will take a resistance, which we need to take the resistance, which is the V of t is equal to the R into I of t, you say that, and I of t is equal to V of t by R. That means the already know that Ohm's law, according to the Ohm's law, in any closed circuit you say that the current passing to the resistor when you are applying somewhat voltage to it. So therefore according to that, I is equal to V by R, which is which will be linked up with the time transient analysis. So therefore the time will be in before the switching and just after the switching, and time tends to the infinitive. The three cases will take into the account generally. So in this connection, how the inductor and the capacitor will be acting. So that is also we need to know. The before that, the relation of the inductor and capacitor with the voltage and current relationships. Generally used to take inductor, how the voltage in the inductor circuit, that is V of t is equal to L di by dt, and you will say the I of t which is equivalent to the 1 by L integrating of minus infinite to the t, and the V of t into dt. If you come into the capacitor, so the how much the voltage dropped across the capacitor, which is indicated by the Vc generally. So but you say here the V of t is equal to 1 by c integrating of minus infinite to the t, and I of t into dt, and similarly how much current flows through the capacitor, which is indicated by the I of t is equal to c into dv of t by dt. So therefore this is the relationship between the RLC parameters with the current and voltages respectively. So now we are going to talk about the circuit changes, either it is in the switching, either off or on condition. So therefore used to take when the assume it to occur at the time t equal to 0, and represented by the switching as shown in the figure. Just to observe that here, if the circuit is open, then there is no signal pass through that. If the circuit is closed, then the signal is passed. So therefore here representing like that, when it is a open circuit and the switch is open like this is the direction, and if we take a switch is closed at the t equal to 0, where the arrow ahead shows that the change of direction like this, and you will take this is the generalizing thing for the time switching activities with respect to the signals. If you take just before the switching, you say that the t is equal to the 0 minus, and if it is t is equal to 0 and the other is the t is equal to 0 plus, which is after just switching. If you take a t tends to the infinitive, then the time greater than 0. So therefore the conditions we need to apply in the initial and final value conditions. So now you used to take here the IL of, for example, you say that what is the current through the inductor coil when you are taking IL of 0 minus, means that the value of a current flowing through the inductor before switching, you say that. If it is a IL of 0 plus, which we say that this is the current passing through the inductor coil just after switching. So this is the difference between them. If we take, for example, used to take, this is the circuit of RC, which we are finding the differential equation for the given electric system or electric circuit. You say that if we take in the circuit, it is visible that the R and C will be connecting in series with the applied voltage V. So you take now you are going to apply the two losses. Already know that in previously in the basic electrical engineering, you solved a lot of problems by using of the Kirchhoff's voltage law and the current law. So therefore from that you say here in a closed circuit we are applying a voltage law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, you say that. So how you are going to take whatever the voltage is applied here V, which is equivalent to the drop, the sum of the drops across the resistance and capacitor. So therefore V is equal to VR plus VC is as shown equation. So put the values of the VR and VC by using the table. You say that how the voltage across the resistance, already know that IR, so but it is relates to the time, so therefore the I of t into R. And if we are coming to the capacitor, 1 by C integrating of phi dt, which is a minus infinite to plus t. So therefore here you used to apply those equations in the VR and VC, and you will get the total voltage applied V is equivalent to the R into I of t plus 1 by C integrating of minus infinite to t and I of t into dt. Now the differential equation we get generally used to take differentiation on both sides with respect to the t. Then you will get the d by dt of V is equal to d by dt of R into I of t, plus the integration will be cancelled because the differentiation integration both will be what we call the complement of each other. Then you take it as both will be cancelled and you will get the only 1 by C into I of t. So therefore here the total voltage it is at the time is equal to 0 condition. So dV by dt is equal to 0 because the constant differentiation with respect to the time is 0. So therefore left side is 0 and we will get the R into d I of t, d by dt of I of t plus 1 by C into I of t. Now you will write the equation. This is the first order differential equation. D by dt of I of t plus 1 by RC into I of t equal to 0. This is the given circuit equivalent differential equation. We got it. From this you have to find the complementary function for this. Okay. So now you say that the C e power minus t by RC, that is the equivalent circuit of equivalent complementary function of this, actually not given here. Now you will take, that is the RC circuit. Now you are coming to this, the RL circuit. You say that the resistance and the inductor are in series. So therefore again you are applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law to the given circuit. You say that the whatever the voltage you are applied, that is equal to V. V is equal to Vm sin t, sin omega t, you say that. So therefore now you are going to take the voltage drops across the resistor and the inductor. So therefore here in the VR plus VL. So previously what we did, here also replica, but here resistance and inductor. In the previous circuit we have resistance and capacitor. So now you used to take the same similar manner you have to do this, and here what is the resistance drop across the resistor, which is equal to the R into I of t, and the inductor how much voltage is drops, that means L dA by dt, you say that. So therefore Vm sin omega t equal to I of t into R L dA by dt, like that. And now this is the RC and RL basic differential circuit, which is the first order differential equation. If you want to find the complementary function of the RL circuit, you say that c1 c e power minus what we call minus t by r by L like that. That is the resultant equation for the RL circuit. Now we are coming to the determination of the complementary functions, which we need already. You know that in engineering mathematics you did a lot of problems in the differential equations, so you must solve all these problems in the mathematics. So therefore, just a briefing what you are going to do in a complementary function for a given differential equation. So you take the three cases we need to apply generally. The case one, you say that if the all the roots of the auxiliary equation are a distinct, you say that the m1, m2, m3 up to so on like that, then the complementary function may be taken to the account here. The complementary function of this case is k1 e power minus pt, where p is equivalent to the m1 comma m2 comma like that. So that is the first case. You say that. In the second case, if the roots two roots are equal, then we'll say m1 equal to m2. You say that the complementary function may be rewrite like this. The complementary function is equal to k1 plus k2t into of e power mt. So this is the when the roots are both are equal, then it should be leads to the critical condition actually. If the first case will leads to the overdamped condition, and the case 3, you say that if the roots are the complex conjugate, you say that alpha plus j beta and alpha minus j beta, you say that m1 and m2 respectively, then already know that what is the j term. J term equal to the under root over minus 1, or you say that the j square is equal to minus 1. So therefore the complementary function may be rewrite like this: the k1 e power alpha plus j beta into t plus k2 e power alpha minus j beta into t. This is the specific different cases we need to apply in the complete solution of a given differential equation. Though the complete solution of a given differential equation is the combination of complementary function plus a particular integration. So therefore you may apply the three conditions which are applying in RLC circuits in either the second order or first order differential equations. Now we will take this is the example one. If you are taking this is the solve d square I by dt square minus 7 di by dt plus 12y is equal to 0. If we take this equation should be comparing with the x square plus bx minus plus c is equal to 0. So that in that equation you have to apply, and you may take the m square minus 7m plus 12 like that, which is equal to 0, and you have to find the roots of the given equation. That means m square minus 4m minus 3m plus 12 is equal to 0, and you will take the m minus 3 into m minus 4. Therefore the roots of the m1 and m2 are the 3 and 4. Then you may write the complementary function of the given differential equation. So I of t is equal to k1 e power plus 3t plus k2 e power plus 4t. So this is about the different roots whatever we solved by using of the differential equation. Just we have to write the complementary function. This is a simple example. If you are coming to this, the particular integration, how you are going to do the particular integration. So here already you know that the second order differential equation which requires the complementary function of the particular integration, then you will get the total equation, right? So therefore complete solution you say. So suppose you say that the differential equation, you say that a d square I by dt square plus b di by dt plus ci is equal to q. You say that where a comma b and c are the constants, you say. So the particular integration exists if the value q is in non-zero condition. So therefore here you used to take when the right side here in this equation you say that it is a q, then definitely you need to find the particular integration. If it is 0, there is no need of any particular integration, only complementary function is enough. But you will coming to this case to find the particular integration when the q is in the form of the e power at, for example. So in this connection you have to apply this formula 1 by the function of f of d e power at, which is equal to, again you may rewrite the equation f of a into e power at, where f of a is not equal to 0 condition. So this is the one case 1. If you come into the case 2, to find the particular integration when q is other form, you say that again either in a sin at or a cos at. So therefore the particular integration which is equivalent to the 1 by f of d square sin at, which is equal to 1 by f of minus a square into sin at. So this is about where the d square is equal to minus a square. This is the condition, you say that. And now the final one, which is we say that this is to find the particular integration when q is of the form of a t power t whole power m, you say that. Then again the particular integration may be rewrite that 1 by d minus a into t power m, you say that the minus 1 by a into a is common here. So therefore 1 minus d by a into of t power m. Again you rewrite the equation minus 1 by a into of 1 minus d by a whole power minus 1 into t power m. So therefore you may apply the binomial theorem. So minus 1 by a into of 1 plus d by a plus d square by a square plus up to so on whatever t power m is there. This is the third case you are going to find the particular integration in a given differential equations. So therefore basically used to take the three types of particular integration equations may be applied for a given network equation, the differential equation, you say that. So therefore, so now we are going to that is the basic preliminaries. Now we are going to apply for the initial conditions in a circuit, you say that. Generally used to take initial conditions maybe with respect to the 0, that means whether you say that the 0 is the reference value at the xy coordinates intersecting point. If it is on the right side, it is a positive, left side it is a negative, you say that. If you will say switch is a t equal to 0 position switch is there, if this switch is just on, that means the just you have to click the on or the close the circuit, close the switch, then it is just after switching, that is called the t of 0 plus. If it is the t reference, t equal to 0 is the reference, then the 0 minus is there, it is just before switching t of 0 minus. The two values we need to consider, and we will take the third is when the t is greater than 0, that means the t tends to the infinite condition, right. So if you will take the k1 k2 in the complementary solution is the differential equation. So therefore the number of initial conditions required is equal to the number of energy storing elements in the circuit. What are the energy storing elements? Already I told in the previous lectures in a video. So again the energy stored elements generally used to take inductor and the capacitor. So therefore the procedure to evaluate the initial conditions, now we are going to take, there are the two position of switches we need to take just before switching and just after switching. The transient starts just after switching and moves to the stability. So therefore initial position, you say that just before switching gives the initial values. So therefore the elements, what elements we need to take, generally used to take only RLC elements, resistor, inductor and capacitor. And the equivalent circuit at t equal to 0 plus, resistor will be same as usual. If the t tends to the infinitive, which is also same, there is no change in the resistance. And you will take a inductor coil, you say that if the equivalent circuit at t equal to 0 plus, that means just after switching, the inductor coil, inductor element should be open circuit, acts as open circuited. If you are coming to the t tends to the infinitive, then the inductor circuit, inductor coil, which is a short circuit, act as a short circuited. If you are coming to the capacitor, which is the quite reverse of the inductor, that means just after switching t equal to 0 plus, then the capacitor acts as a short circuited. And we will coming to this, the t tends to the infinitive, then capacitor acts as a open circuited. This is the main switching conditions of the three elements RLC respectively. And now we will take the inductor which opposes in any change in a current, sudden change in a current. If any circuit value of current is changing, inductor try to flow the same current in the circuit due to the energy stored in the inductor itself, right. And it means the initial and the final value for inductor current is inductor is current. Similarly initial and final value capacitor is the voltages. Just will take the actions will be made current and voltage with respect to the inductor and the capacitors. So now you will take directly, this is the simple circuit of the RL, which is the t equal to the 0, the switch is open. Initially circuit is open at t equal to 0, the switch is closed due to the inductor, and the initial circuit is then that means the I of 0 equal to 0, right. It is open circuited generally at the initial condition t equal to 0 plus like. Now we will take the switch is closed just like that, and we will take the initially current is called current, current is closed at t equal to 0, the switch moves from the position 1 to 2, you say that in figure. And I of 0 equal to V by R1 is assumed that the first position was for the very long time, therefore the inductor behaves as a short circuited, right? So now you used to take, that means the t tends to infinity. Long time is the maximum time it should be take. That's why the inductor act as a short circuited. If you're coming to this, the resistance, reactance and impedance is how you are analyzing. You say that the resistance is the ratio of the voltage to the current, and which is in a scalar and a vector positions. You say that resistor is always a scalar, already know that there is no what we call the link with the angles or frequency like that. So if you will coming to that, the reactance part, you say that for the resistor, the voltage and current in the in phase, there is no variation. If you come into the reactance part, you say that the X is equal to V by I, V by I, you say that here, which is in also ohms, and the inductor coil is there. For the inductor, XL equal to omega L, you say that, where the omega is the 2 pi f and where L is the inductor. For this, XL equal to j omega L and XC is equivalent to the 1 by j omega C, already given here. How the voltage and current variations is there, which is 90 degrees apart in between the voltage and current, and the voltage is the leading edge in the inductor, and then capacitor current is in the leading edge. And you say that the voltage is lagging in capacitor, current is lagging in inductor. So therefore here the impedance, what is the impedance? The combination of resistance and the reactance part is called an impedance generally. So that is equal to V by I ohm. So therefore, which is in the form of RL circuit, RC circuit, RLC circuit, like that. If you will take a impedance of the RL circuit, you say R square plus omega L whole square, and the impedance of the capacitance and resistance combination, you say Z is equal to R square plus 1 by omega C whole square. If you will take a RLC circuit, Z is equal to under root over R square plus omega L minus 1 by omega C whole square. So therefore, this is the impedance for the scalar, and you will coming to the vector, you say that the Z is equal to R plus j omega L, and for the capacitance and resistance, Z equal to R plus 1 by j omega C, and for the combination of RLC, the vector representation of the impedance, which is R plus j omega L plus 1 by j omega C. So these, the waveforms of these two, the respectively, what we given the waveforms like this, which is in the impedance, which is relates the inductance and the capacitor. So here what I told already, the inductor is leading in the voltage and the lagging in the current, and similarly capacitor is leading in the current and lagging in the voltage. So therefore voltage amplitudes. So now we will take the next one is the transient response of the parallel RLC circuit. Now you used to take, so far we talk about only RLC circuit in series and all. Now you are going to talk about the parallel RLC circuit, which will be connecting with the source. So here just to observe that the t equal to 0. So therefore, if the switch is closed, then you may current flows through the circuit. So here it is a parallel resonant circuit, parallel circuit. You say how the current passing through the resistance, inductance and capacitance, like you say that the applying a Kirchhoff's voltage law here. So Kirchhoff's current law here, but this is the nodal voltage method, which is a second order system. You used to take the whatever the current, the total current is the combination of the currents flowing through the R, L and C. So therefore I is equal to IR plus IL plus IC. So therefore I is equal to, what is IR? IR is the current passing through the resistance, which is V by R, and IL is the current passing through the inductor, which is indicated by the 1 by L integrating of V dt, and you say the through the capacitor C into dV by dt. So this is about the combination of three currents, which is are parallel. So therefore voltage is same, but the current will be different. So taking the differentiation on the both sides with respect to the t for the given equation, whatever we derive the equation. So therefore used to take here d square v by dt square c into d square v by dt square plus integral and differential cancel. So v by L is left plus 1 by R into of dV by dt is equivalent to the 0, because dA by dt is there, though that is differentiation with respect to that, which is 0. and you will divide by c on both sides, then you will get the resultant equation d square v by dt square plus 1 by lc into v plus 1 by rc into dv by dt equal to 0. Then it is a corresponding auxiliary equation. You say that the instead of d by dt you say d square. So therefore d square plus 1 by rc into d plus 1 by lc whole into of v, which is equivalent to the 0. So therefore here from the given equation 1 you say that this is a second order differential equation, linear differential equation with only a complementary function because there is no value on the right hand side. So therefore this equation should be solved by using of the ax square plus bx plus c related equation, which is the roots can be identified by using of the formula minus b plus r minus root over b square minus 4ac. So this should be applicable here. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 1 by rc and c equal to 1 by lc. That value should be applied in the root equation. Then you will find the d1 and d2. So here the d1 is equivalent to the minus 1 by rc minus 1 by 2rc plus or minus under root over 1 by 2rc whole square minus 1 by lc. This is the d1 d2 equations. One is once you will get the plus, once you will get the minus. Now you will find these roots. You say that the, and by assuming that the k1 is equivalent to the minus 1 by 2rc and k2 is equivalent to the under root over 1 by 2rc whole square minus 1 by lc. Hence the k2 may be positive, negative and is 0. So therefore d1 is equal to the k1 plus k2, d2 equal to k1 minus k2. You say that the two roots will be there. Based on the nature of roots we have to make a three cases here. This is the condition is whether the 1 by 2rc is 2rc whole square which is greater than 1 by lc, or 1 by 2rc whole square is equal to 1 by lc, or 1 by 2rc whole square is less than 1 by lc. The three conditions we need to apply here. If you will take 1 by 2rc whole square is greater than 1 by lc, then the k2 becomes a positive, and it should the roots are always real and unequal. So therefore which gives the overdamped response, and we will take the equation which can be rewrite as d minus of k1 plus k2 into of d minus of k1 minus k2 a whole into of v equal to 0. So therefore the complementary function of the given equation, which is rewrite as c1 into of e power k1 plus k2 into t plus c2 e power k1 minus k2 into t. So this is the complementary function of the given equation. So the complete solution is also the combination of the complementary function plus a particular integration. But here in this case the particular integration is 0 because there is no value in the right side. So therefore we need to get the total solution is only a complementary function here, c1 e power k1 plus k2 into t plus c2 e power k1 minus k2 into t. So this is the case 1, which is the overdamped condition. If the condition is 1 by 2rc whole square is less than 1 by lc, then what happened? K2 becomes a negative. So in this position the roots are the complex conjugate. So therefore the underdamping response will occurs. So here the roots will be the d minus of k1 plus jk2 into of d minus of k1 minus jk2 whole into v equal to 0. So the complementary function of the current, which is here also there is no particular integration, only same equation. So therefore the condition is applied when v 1 by 2rc is whole square is less than 1 by lc, then it becomes a negative and underdamping responses occurs in this network. So therefore the total function, which is nothing but a complementary function, what we got here. So that is a e power k1 t into of c1 cos k2 plus c2 cos k2 t. So this is the generalizing equation of the given differential equation in the condition of the underdamped response. Now we will come into the third case. If the 1 by 2rc and 1 by lc both are equal, so therefore it becomes k2 becomes a 0, and this position will get a critically damped response will occur. So therefore the two roots will be equal. You say that d minus k1 into d minus k1 whole into v equal to 0. So therefore they already know that preliminary thing, when the two roots are equal, then the complementary function can be written as e power k1 t into of c1 plus c2 t. Okay. So therefore here also there is no particular integration. So therefore that is the resultant equation what we expect the total complete equation of the given network. So these three conditions will be applied to the RLC network, whether it is in a parallel circuit or of the given network. So now you used to take the steady state network. So that is the basic, whatever we learn all are the basic phenomena of the circuits, and please keep watching, and we need to do more lectures in this connection. The next lecture we are going to talk about the steady state network, steady state analysis.